Boy, just when you think a team can't get any dumber than Tennessee, right? A bunch of pointless coaching hires, meaningless, terrible coaching hires, pretty much as long as anyone can remember. And then they take Jarrett Guarantano and start him in 4 different years, 17, 18, 19, and 20. The guy gets obviously worse, really, from year to year. They keep starting him in games. Even this year, when they started out with some sort of abysmal record in a coronavirus freebie do-over year, where Jeremy Pruitt, if he had any sense at all, never would have played Jarrett Guarantano this year. He would have started the young kid Harrison Bailey. This was a freebie year. I mean, this was a mulligan year. Who cares? Harrison Bailey could go out and turn the ball over 2 or 3 times a game and whatever, all these freshman mistakes. Wouldn't matter. You want him making those mistakes this year, a year that doesn't matter to you, or you want him doing it next year? But no, you know, Jarrett Guarantano gets to start. This guy's throwing pick sixes every time somebody turns around. Tennessee fan base wouldn't piss on this guy if he was on fire. I mean, Tennessee has just made a string of terrible decisions dating back really 13, 14 years to firing Fat Boy Phil because he lost to Wyoming, which is pitiful and sad. But what's happened to you since then? Well, you had Lane Kiffin for 5 minutes. He gave you one of these and dipped out the door the first chance you got. You bring in, Derek Dooley, utter disgrace and embarrassment. You're trying to float along on Georgia's coattails with the whole Dooley last name thing. Obviously, it didn't work out. He gets gone. You bring in some guy that no one's ever heard of called Lyle. I think some people called him Butch, but Lyle Jones. You bring this guy in. Y'all swore to God this guy was the greatest coach in history. And let's give Lyle some credit. He somehow managed to win 9 games at Tennessee. You know how hard that is to do? This guy won 9 games for you, but you had to fire him too. We're Tennessee. Well, we're not happy with this. You fire him. Bring in Jerome Pruitt. Why? Well, at that point, 9 people had turned the job down at Tennessee, and not a school on earth, it never even popped into anybody's head. Hey, let's hire Jeremy Pruitt. Literally no school on earth had ever even formulated that thought except Tennessee. So it was a match made in heaven. Nobody wanted the Tennessee job. Nobody wanted Jeremy Pruitt. It was a perfect fucking fit. He shows up and continues to push a plastic plate out onto the 50-yard line, drop his drawers, and take a poo-poo on it over and over and over again. They're losing to BYU and Georgia State last year, winning 3 games. 3 games. 3-7 this year. We had to listen to you all last offseason brag about a 6 or 7 game winning streak, whatever it was. A winning streak in which the best team you beat was a 7-win Indiana team. Now, this year, you're on like a 6 or 7 game losing streak. But somehow now, previous streaks don't matter till the following year, according to the Tennessee man. I don't get it. You guys were going to go 100-0 this year because you won 6 games in a row to end last year. Now you lose 6 games in a row to end this year, but somehow it doesn't matter for next year. Just stop. You know what does matter for next year? You won't have Jarrett Guarantano. You say, well, Lou, there's no way they could have Jarrett Guarantano. You just said he played in 17, 18, 19, and 20. He's played in 4 years. His eligibility is up. No such thing as eligibility this year. Thanks, Rona. You know what the biggest problem Tennessee had heading towards the end of this season was? What do we do about Jarrett Guarantano? Because no one wanted him anymore. Pruitt didn't even want him anymore. By the end of the year, Jarrett Guarantano was riding pine. I mean, that's just the reality. And you're sitting here going, well, what are we going to do? He's clearly not an NFL quarterback, so he's not going to the draft. What if he comes back to Tennessee? How do we handle that? Because this year doesn't count against eligibility, so he can come back next year. Oh my God, can we trust Jeremy Pruitt to sit him down and not play him at all? Can you really do that to a 5th-year senior with 4 years worth of playing experience? Do you trust Jeremy Pruitt to make the right decision? No. So it was like watching 2 trains heading towards each other, and we were all just waiting for the crash. But crash averted when Jarrett Guarantano announces that no, he's not coming back to Tennessee. Nope, he's not entering the NFL draft. No, he's not going to work at Wendy's. He's transferring to Washington State. I mean, it's like he looked at the map and said, okay, what's the furthest place away from Knoxville? Washington State. Mike Leach not there anymore. No one knows who's there. If you're watching this video right now, you don't know who the coach is. But you know what I do know? The quarterbacks that are at Washington State. They played a true freshman this year. How'd he do? Not very good, to be honest. 78 of 129, 880 yards, 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. They also have a redshirt sophomore and a redshirt freshman on the team. So bringing in a 12th year senior like Jarrett Guarantano appears to be a good idea on the surface. Maybe you need some veteran leadership from Jarrett Guarantano. Is he going to start at Washington State? I don't know. He's probably not that much worse than what they have there, though, now, in my opinion. So he's got a shot. Now, this true, normally if you start a true freshman, you've made the decision, he's our guy. And you're likely going to ride with him for 2 or 3 seasons. He didn't light the world on fire. I mean, I think he only played 4 or 5 games because of the Rona. But still, 880 yards, 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, only completed 78 out of 129. I mean, this isn't blowing anybody away. What is that, a 60% completion percentage? Hell, that's so bad. 60% completion percentage is terrible in modern-day college football. Who else do we know that has about a 60% completion percentage? Oh, yeah, Jarrett Guarantano. Yeah, listen to these numbers. 2017. What is this? This is terrible. Well, his best year was 2018, when he somehow managed to complete 62% of his passes. 2019, he had 24. What do you have? 2,100. Was that really his? Please, that can't be right. No way his best year was 2,100 yards. Oh my God, 16 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 3 interceptions, 8 interceptions in 19. Do you know he only had 4 interceptions this year? Doesn't it seem like he had a lot more than that? All 4 must have been pick sixes, though. I don't know. If you ask Tennessee, man, every game they lose is because of Derek Dooley and Jarrett Guarantano. I don't get it. I bet you next year when they lose games, they're still blaming Dooley and Guarantano. These Tennessee fans are about dumb as hell, ain't they? They are. They still haven't gotten it through their head that it's not that Tennessee is a bad team. They still think every year it's just a bad team. No, it's a bad program. Your program is the laughing stock. You know, we joke about Florida State, and deservedly so. They're terrible. We joke about Texas and Nebraska and Miami and all these who's back type thing. All of those programs are in better shape right now than Tennessee by a mile. By a mile. I mean, Tennessee literally can't do anything right, can't get out of its own way. They go out and buy players and then go 3-7. I mean, their best player, this running back Eric Gray's bought and paid for. You tried to buy Amarius Mims. I don't know if you didn't pay him enough or what. He ended up somewhere else, though. How much did we pay him? I don't know. The world will never know. Oh, dude, Georgia just got some NCAA violations. Oh, yeah? Oh, my God. I guess we're a dead program now. Oh, no. How long are we on probation for? Can somebody let me know? Kirby get a show cause order? Somebody let me know. How many scholarships did we lose? Somebody let me know. You have to laugh at the simple-minded and basic people who see in a headline recruiting violations and they think they're all the same. You know, like recruiting violations are a one-size-fits-all type thing. Almost every school in America gets hit with level 3 recruiting violations every single year. This is a level 3 recruiting violation is sending a text message at 10:05 p.m. when you weren't supposed to send it after 9:59 p.m. Or you give a kid a piece of birthday cake or a balloon. Clemson got in trouble for giving a player a balloon. These are level 3 violations. Happens all the time. There's no punishments involved. You don't go on probation. There's no show cause orders. You don't lose scholarship. There's nothing. And then you have the Ole Misses of the world, the Floridas of the world, and the Tennessees of the world who are out here buying players and just pissing all over the recruiting rules 365 days a year. These are the teams that get hit with probation, show cause orders, lack of recruiting time, loss of schollies, all that kind of stuff. Not Georgia. Anyway, Jarrett Guarantano to the West Coast. So it's official. Tennessee will be going 5-7 next year with Harrison Bailey, not Jarrett Guarantano. Not Jarrett Guarantano. I was wondering, I said, okay, Tennessee's only going to win 5. Maybe they win 6 and get bowl eligible. But on any given year, Tennessee's a 5 or 6 win team. So I'm sitting here going, okay, is Jarrett Guarantano going to win these 5 or 6 games for the Voltard? Or is Harrison Bailey going to win these 5 or 6 games for the Voltard? I don't know. Well, now we know. So salute to Harrison Bailey, a Georgia kid, by the way. Sorry Georgia didn't want you, sir. Don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. You're just not nearly good enough to play for us, and honestly, we just don't need you. So, But that doesn't mean you can't go out and win 5 or 6 games a year at Tennessee and graduate and become manager of a Big Lots or whatever else. Have a good day.